will now call the business session of the October 3rd, 2023 meeting to order at 6 p.m. I'm going to take it a little out of order this evening, and we're going to start with the, We're going to get to the proclamations really quickly because I know we got a full house here tonight. Oh, man. Sorry, guys. I thought I had this pulled up, and I don't.
Give a personal testimonial about McGruff's influence in my own life.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right. As a young boy in Killeen, the "Take a Bite Out of Crime" message had a profound impact, as did McGruff's legacy, and it continues to have an impact in our community. And I'm glad to see him here today.
He's here. He's back.
And I know it's a big part of National Night Out, so always wonderful to see McGruff doing his thing.
Council member, I'm concerned. McGruff hadn't aged a bit since.
A lot of both.
Looking really good.
He's got that Columbo overcoat.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, I'm going to take it a little out of order this evening, and I know we have a bunch of people here for proclamations, but we're going to move quickly to the hearing of visitors, and I do have one card, and that's Mr. Ephraim Herring. Okay.
So, I mean, if you want to...
And you said you're here for an agenda item, not for hearing a visitor.
item.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Mr.
I'm
I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that, Mr. Herring. Is there anyone else here to speak during the hearing of visitors? All right. Then I will close the hearing of visitors, and we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The first item of business is to consider the minutes of the September 19th, 2023 special city council meeting and regular city council meeting. These minutes were provided in your packet. Are there any corrections? Nope. If not, those will stand approved as submitted. Next is to consider a series of great proclamations we have tonight. The first is National Night Out, so if those guests for that want to come join me at the podium. We have our police chief, McGruff, as usual. Another great night. Welcome, team. Hey. I just want to thank our whole team here tonight. We have the Waco Citizens Police Academy representatives. We got representatives of National Night Out and obviously our police force. And I'm so thankful for every one of them for what they do and how they make our city a stronger, safer city. So it's with that honor that I'll read this proclamation. I, Dylan Meek, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the city of Waco, do hereby proclaim October 3rd, 2023 as National Night Out Day in the city of Waco and urge all citizens to join with the city council, city staff, and me to participate with the Waco Police Department in America's Night Out Against Crime. The 40th annual National Night Out is a unique crime drug prevention event sponsored by the National Association of Town Watch. National Night Out was introduced on August of 1984 through an already established network of law enforcement agencies, neighborhood watch groups, civic groups, state and regional crime prevention associations, and volunteers across the nation. It is also a national community building campaign that enhances neighborhood and law enforcement relationships while fostering a true sense of community. National Night Out allows residents to come together and present a unified force in the fight against crime in the community by hosting block or group parties, neighborhood association meetings, or simply spending time visiting with neighbors. Not only has the National Night Out been proven to be an effective campaign, but it is also an enjoyable night as neighbors, law enforcement, and community organizers come together in their casual environment to collaborate on how to build safer neighborhoods. The best way to build a safer community is for the residents to know each other and their surroundings. National Night Out triumphs over a culture that separates neighbors from each other by allowing them to connect with their communities. We express our sincere appreciation for the hard work of the neighborhoods to assist the Waco Police Department through joint crime prevention efforts. Thank you very much. Chief, I'll turn it over to you.
First of all, just let me say thank you to the mayor and our council and our city manager's office for all the support that you guys give us as we take this holistic approach to addressing crime in our city and public safety. I just want to especially thank Candace Ortiz for organizing this. I think we have about 16 locations tonight, 4 different teams, and we're looking forward to getting out and engaging with the community. Hopefully, when you guys get out of here, you'll have time to still go and enjoy National Night Out. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chief. Take a picture?
Yes, can we get a picture real fast?
No.
Picture.
Good. All right, now we got Fire Prevention Week. Chief Summers is going to be
McGrath.
accepting this proclamation. Is he here? No? Okay. Well, is there anybody who wants to accept the proclamation? Come on down. All right, man. Appreciate you guys being here tonight. Hey, guys. Hey.
Got a lot of takers there, Mayor.
All right. Again, appreciate all that you do. Waco is lucky and proud to have an ISO 1 rating, and that's because of the dedication and hard work that you do. It's such an honor to get to be a part of an organization with our fire team. So it's with that, I have the honor of reading this. I, Dylan Meek, by the authority vested in me as mayor of the city of Waco, Texas, do hereby proclaim October 8th through 14th, 2023 as Fire Prevention Week 2023 in the city of Waco, and urge the citizens of Waco to join with the city council and city staff in participating with the fire department for Fire Prevention Week by supporting the many public activities and efforts to raise awareness of fire prevention. The first national proclamation for Fire Prevention Week was issued by President Calvin Coolidge in 1925 as a national observance of the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. This year's campaign for Fire Prevention Week is Cooking Safety Starts With You. Pay attention to fire prevention. While cooking brings families and friends together to create memories and relieve stress and foster community, it is also the #1 cause of home fires and home fire injuries. According to the National Fire Prevention Association, nearly half, 49%, of all home fire involves cooking equipment. Unattended cooking causes nearly 200,000 home fires and averages 550 deaths annually. These statistics indicate that more public awareness is needed around and when cooking hazards exist, along with the ways to prevent them. Fire Prevention Week 2023 focuses on education and simple tips, guidelines, and recommendations that can help significantly reduce the risk of a cooking fire. In a fire, mere seconds can mean the difference between a safe escape and a tragedy. In testimony whereof, witness my hand and the seal of the city of Waco this 3rd day of October, 2023. Thank you, guys. Can you say a few words?
I can.
Sure.
Sure. Thank you, Mayor and Council. I just want to say we appreciate the opportunity to be recognized for Fire Prevention Week. It's an important, just a reminder of the danger of fire. We're out. It's a commitment to our whole team to community risk reduction throughout the year, but we're going to be out in full force over the next week, and we look to see everybody out there.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you guys. And last but not least, we have Dr. Sean Fike for Chiropractic Health Month. Dr. Fike here? Come on now. All right. Well, this is going to be another a great one to wrap up the evening on. I, Dylan Meek, by the virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the city of Waco, Texas, do hereby proclaim October 2023 as Chiropractic Health Month in the city of Waco, and urge all residents to join the city council, city staff, and me in recognizing Texas chiropractors for their commitment and efforts to improve the quality of life for all citizens in our community by promoting effective pain management and healthy lifestyles. Chiropractic Health Month is observed each year in October and is designated to raise public awareness of the importance of musculoskeletal, is that right? Health and benefits from chiropractic care. In the United States, musculoskeletal conditions, that was a little worse, a common cause of chronic pain, result in more than 130 million healthcare visits annually, making them the #1 reason people visit their doctors. Low back pain, which ranks among the most common form of chronic pain, has been one of the leading reasons for why people are prescribed opioids, and the number of people worldwide living with back pain is projected to increase by 36% to 843 million over the next 30 years. Clinical guidelines published by the American College of Physicians and the Center of Disease Control and Prevention promote using non-invasive pro-pharmacologic therapies as a first line of treatment for subacute chronic pain before using pain medications and surgeries. Doctors of chiropractic play a key role in helping patients manage pain and lessen their reliance on prescription pain medications with an evidence-based, patient-centered, non-drug approach. With the theme Chiropractic, Relieve, Restore, Resume, National Chiropractic Month 2023 reminds patients that non-drug treatments for low back, neck, and joint pain, such as spinal manipulation and other chiropractic services, can help relieve and restore joint function, helping people to resume their lives and the activities to them that matter most. In testimony whereof, witness my hand and the seal of the city of Waco this 3rd day of October 2023. All right. Our first public hearing is public hearing 2023-807.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and Council. This is a public hearing in accordance with the requirements of the Texas Tax Code, Section 312.002C1, to consider a resolution adopting revisions to the City of Waco's residential tax abatement guidelines and policy statement governing the abatement of city taxes on qualified residential properties. Chapter 312 of the Texas Tax Code requires that a municipality must adopt guidelines for tax abatement before it can grant tax abatement agreements. Thereafter, a municipality may only enter into tax abatement agreements that meet its adopted guidelines. The municipality is also required to hold a public hearing at which members of the public are given the opportunity to be heard regarding an adoption, amendment, repeal, or reauthorization of tax abatement guidelines and criteria. The current guidelines expired December 17, 2021. Staff is proposing amendments to the current policy in support of furthering the development within the city core. The proposed revisions include incorporating the amended policies for the sale of tax foreclosed property and the sale of fee simple property, and extending the agreement to December 17th of 2023. Once City Council has reauthorized these guidelines and these revisions, the guidelines will be effective through December 17th of 2023. Notice of this public hearing was published in the Waco Tribune Herald on August 19th of 2023.
Are there any questions for staff? We'll open a public hearing. Is there anyone here to speak on this item? Yep.
My name is Ephraim Herring, live at 1044 Chestnut Street. I was looking over the guidelines, and I'm a tax abatement individual that has not used the tax abatement benefits for the taxes, but I have suggestions for the guidelines. There should be someone that the resident can talk to when they're picking the city as a problem with the person that the city recommended for a tax abatement. There should be somebody outside the city that the person can go to talk to, because it's going to be a very conflict of interest when you're talking to a city official about the person that they're using or recommended for the tax abatement. The other problem is I made an agreement with the city not the contractor, with the city to build my property or to build any property in accordance with the plans approved by the city. There's no documentation anywhere that I could find in your repertoire of ordinances and codes that states that the contractor that's in tax abatement along with the resident has to meet the approved plans submitted to the city. There's nothing there saying they have to do it. The other thing I got a question about is, if it's not done, you fall under chapter 28 of the ordinances because you're in violation of 28-11. Then you fall into section 1-14, where anybody can write you a citation for violating the plans submitted. The other question, the other thing I would suggest is, in your guidelines, the tax abatement packet should be mailed to the residents, not to the contractor. It should go directly to the residents after it's being passed by the city council. It should go right to that resident, so he can get his attorney to help him to do the process. Because there's a process done. If you don't agree with the city, there's a time limit that you got to charge to the court process to talk to the county about the disagreement you have with the city. And last but not least, the certificate of occupancy should be sent directly to the resident that's in part of tax abatement, because that document is what you need to use when you go out to get monies from banks. Because the first thing the bank will ask you when you get past your first loan is, do you have a certificate of occupancy? I've already checked 5 banks, and the first thing out of their mouth was, do you have a certificate of occupancy? A certificate of occupancy coming from a contractor is not really valid, because the certificate of occupancy is a government document that should be coming from the city. And if the city doesn't have a file of that on file that's certified, then you basically have the creek without a paddle. So I'm suggesting that for the residents, because I know some residents right now are probably have the same problem, because I've seen by their properties by some suggested contractors that's in violation of the development code, which is part of chapter 28. Y'all be safe. God bless you.
Is there anyone else here to speak on this item? If not, we'll close the public hearing. I'll ask for a motion.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Rodriguez?
Aye.
Holmes?
Aye.
Porterud?
Yes.
Yes, that motion carries. And we'll move on to the consent agenda. The following resolutions have been pulled from the consent agenda because of an affidavit of substantial interest. The first is Resolution 2023-826. Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Rodriguez?
Aye.
Holmes?
Aye.
Meek? Meek?
Aye. Yes, that motion carries. Okay. The next one is Resolution 2023-832. Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Motion second. Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Rodriguez?
Aye.
Holmes?
Aye.
Meek?
Yes, the motion carries. And another item that we need to pull from the consent agenda is the resolution regarding the McLennan County Appraisal District. I'm trying to find that number. Does anybody know what that is off the top of their heads?
Yes, sir. It's 809.
Okay. Is there a motion for Resolution 2023-809?
Move for approval.
Second. Do we?
For clarification,
Yes. Go ahead.
who is the council going to nominate for the MCAD board?
Councilmember Rodriguez, just to clarify your motion, did you mean to move for Jim Holmes?
Yes, I move for Jim Holmes to be our nominating candidate for the position of the McLennan County Appraisal District Board of Directors for 2024.
Thank you.
Is that a second?
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Rodriguez? Aye. Holmes? Aye. Porterud? Yes. Meek?
Yes, that motion carries. The consent agenda includes resolutions 2023-808 through 841, with the exception of 809, 826, and 832. Is there a motion on the consent agenda?
Move for approval.
Second.
Any discussion?
Rodriguez?
Aye.
Holmes? Porterud?
Yes.
Meek?
That motion carries. We'll move to ordinance 2023-842.
An ordinance amending the City of Waco Code of Ordinances, Chapter 18 Personnel, Article 3, Division 1, Section 18-76A to increase the number of firefighter Grade 1 positions in the Waco Fire Department from 85 to 96, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing a savings clause, providing for inclusion in the code, providing a severability clause, providing for an effective date, and finding and determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance comes to council on first reading.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval on first reading.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes, Mayor, just briefly, grateful for these new firefighter positions that are being created as 2 new fire stations come online in our city, one in Councilmember Rodriguez's district and one in mine. And I think this is a great thing for fire safety and fire prevention in our community.
I'll just echo what Councilmember Borderood said. I think one of the primary objectives of this council is to have a strong fire department and public safety, and going from 85 to 96 number of firefighters, I think makes a lot of sense and demonstrates our commitment to have a strong public safety program. And I appreciate Assistant City Manager Holt and Fire Chief and the Police Chief. Well, maybe not the police chief on this, but the fire chief. All right. Anyway, thank you.
Well, I echo what both my councilmen have said. And, you know, when there's a fire or some kind of emergency, you see that red truck coming across that corner, golly, what a feeling. So thank you, firefighters, for coming on to the city of Waco. You and our police officers are very, very welcomed and appreciated by this council. Thank you.
Fully agree. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? If not, please poll the council.
Rodriguez?
Aye.
Holmes?
Aye.
Borderood?
Yes.
Meek?
The motion carries, and we'll move to ordinance 2023-843.
Amending Section 252B, Section 253A, and Section 253D of the Division 5 Waco Convention Center and Visitors Bureau Commission in Article 2 Boards, Commissions, Committees of Chapter 2 Administration of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Waco, Texas, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for inclusion in the code, providing an effective date, and finding and determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance is approved by a 6-0 council vote on first reading on September 5th, 2023.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval on second reading.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Rodriguez?
Aye.
Holmes? Borderood?
Yes.
Meek?
Motion carries, and we'll move to ordinance 2023-844.
An ordinance approving and adopting a service plan and assessment plan for Waco Public Improvement District Number 1, including the annual budget and assessment role for providing improvements and/or services for fiscal year 2023, making provisions for levying of assessments against property in the district and the owners thereof, fixing charges and liens against property in the district and owners thereof, providing for collection of such assessments, enacting other provisions related thereto, reserving unto the City Council the authority to reduce such assessments based on the credits established by City Council, directing that all required procedures be followed in accordance with Chapter 372 of the Local Government Code, providing for a savings clause, providing for an effective date, and finding and determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by a 5-0 council vote on first reading on September 19th, 2023, I believe with Councilmember Borderood disqualified on that one.
Thank you.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval on second reading.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Rodriguez?
Aye.
Holmes?
Aye.
Meek?
Aye. That motion carries. I'll move to ordinance 2023-845.
An ordinance revising Section 26-16 of Article 2 City-Provided Utilities of Chapter 26 Utilities of the Waco Code of Ordinances to reduce the time period required to establish an acceptable credit rating for service deposit reimbursement and to require a deposit for residential service applicants in default status. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for penalties, providing a savings clause, providing a severability clause, providing for an effective date, and finding and determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance is approved by a 6-0 council vote on first reading on September 5th, 2023.
Bradley, On this particular ordinance, was this not the one where I asked, how are we helping our folks that, the different steps that we're doing to help our residential area, service applicants who are in default, that I was saying, I mean, they're cut off for a reason, and then I think somebody said they were gonna bring some, list of what we do to help folks in this position that they're in. What will we as a city do to help them with our water bill?
That's correct, Councilmember Rodriguez, and staff has done quite a bit of research on that matter. Paul, you want to kind of walk us through that?
Sure. I think, Councilmember, there's a couple of things that are worth pointing out. We issue almost 500,000 bills every year, and about 20,000 of those are bills where we actually tag them for disconnect. But from that 20,000, the ones that actually get disconnected after we work with them and provide them other places to go for help, we end up disconnecting about 4,000, or less than 1% of our customers. And when we start talking with them, we certainly try to work out ways for them to get their bill paid, and we refer them to a number of agencies around the community, such as Caritas, Texas Utility Help, Economic Opportunities Advancement Corporation, churches, and others, for additional assistance if they need it in order to get their bill paid. By the time we actually do get to a disconnect, the customer has had about 80 days of water service, 79 to 80 days of water service. So we continue to work with them over that whole period of time, trying to find ways for them to get help or to start paying a little bit on their bills. So I think our staff does a really good job. Again, of those tagged, about 20,000, 80% of those get resolved and never get their water turned off. So I feel like we're working with all of our customers and referring them to resources to get the help they need.
Thank you, Paul. I was just concerned that we don't have the water, I mean, the water's turned off for a reason. We can't pay it. How do we expect them to come back up with a deposit? So thank you for telling me that they've got 70 to 80 days in the interim, and that in the meantime, you're directing them to different places to go for help.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Thank you for that answer.
It's that right balance of wanting to have accountability, but at the same time helping people when they're in need.
Right.
And I appreciate Councilmember Rodriguez's attention to the way that the work of the city affects even the least of our members in terms of resources here in the city, and also appreciate staff's good memo addressing the city's policies that was in the packet, which I thought was helpful for all of us up here. So thank you all for that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Bradley.
Anytime.
Did I ask for a motion on this yet?
No, you didn't. I'll move for approval on second reading.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? Poll the council.
Rodriguez?
Aye.
Holmes?
Aye.
Borderood?
Yes.
Meek?
Yes, that motion carries. We'll move to ordinance 2023-846.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, abandoning number 1, 2 portions of Pleasant Street right-of-way between Taylor Avenue and the existing St. Louis Southwestern Railway Company right-of-way, described as a 1.366 acre Pleasant Street right-of-way abandonment tract, being a portion of the Pleasant Street right-of-way 75 foot wide and a portion of the Taylor Street right-of-way variable width, located southeast of Taylor Avenue and northwest of the portion of Pecan Street abandoned by the City of Waco, ordinance number 1992-46, and located southwest of Lot 1, Block 2, ET&T Edition, to the City of Waco, Texas, according to the plat thereof, recorded in volume 1713, page 436 of the deed records of McLennan County, Texas, and located northeast of Lot 2, Block 1, E&T Edition, to the City of Waco, Texas, according to the plat thereof, recorded in volume 1859, page 117 of the deed records of McLennan County, Texas, and B, 75-foot wide, 0.609 acre Pleasant Street right-of-way abandonment tract, being a portion of the Pleasant Street right-of-way 75-foot wide, located southeast of the portion of Pecan Street abandoned by the City of Waco by ordinance number 1992 43 and northwest of the St. Louis Southwestern Railway Company right-of-way, 75 feet wide, and located between blocks 29 and 33 of the HTC Railroad addition to East Waco according to the plat thereof, recorded in volume 121, page 98 of the deed records of McLennan County, Texas. And number 2, 3 20-foot wide alleys located south of Peach Street and near the existing St. Louis Southwestern Railway Company right-of-way, described as a 20-foot wide, 0.161 acre alley right-of-way, abandonment tract being all of the 20-foot wide alley in Block 33 of the H&TC Railroad addition to East Waco, according to the plat thereof, recorded in volume 121, page 98 of the deed records of McLennan County, Texas. And B, a 20-foot wide, 0.135 acre alley right-of-way abandonment tract, being all of the 20-foot wide alley in Block 29 of the HTC Railroad addition to East Waco, according to the plat thereof, according to volume 121, page 98 of the deed records of McLennan County, Texas. And C, a 20-foot wide, 0.24 acre alley right-of-way abandonment tract, being all of the 20 feet wide alley in Block 34 of the HT&C Railroad addition to East Waco, according to the plat thereof, recorded in volume 121, page 98 of the deed records of McLennan County, Texas. Finding no duty to maintain, authorizing the city manager to execute quitclaim deeds, providing a severability clause, finding and determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by a 6-0 council vote on first reading on September 19th, 2023.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval on the second reading.
Any discussion?
Second.
Oh, got a second from Hans.
Second. Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Rodriguez?
Aye.
Holmes? Borderoux?
Aye.
Yes. Go to ordinance 2023-847.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, abandoning 2 easements within property described as Lot 25, Block 228, Reynolds Addition, known as 901 West Waco Drive. Said easements described as number 1, a 9-foot wide, 0.033 acre storm easement abandonment tract out of Lot 25, Block 228, Reynolds Addition, in the City of Waco, McLennan County, Texas, according to the plat thereof, recorded on the McLennan County Clerk's document 2011-023-440 of the official public records of McLennan County, Texas, and 2, 15-foot wide, 0.054 acre sanitary sewer easement abandonment tract out of Lot 25, Block 228, Reynolds Addition, in the City of Waco, McLennan County, Texas, according to the plat thereof, recorded under McLennan County Clerk's document 2011-023-440 of the official public records of McLennan County, Texas. Finding no duty to maintain, authorizing the city manager to execute quitclaim deeds, providing a severability clause, finding and terminating the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by a 6-0 council vote on first reading on September 19th, 2023.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval on second reading.
Second.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Rodriguez?
Aye.
Holmes?
Aye.
Borderoux? Meek?
Yes. That motion carries. We'll move to ordinance 2023-848.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, abandoning 2 easements within property described as Lot 25,
Nope. Next one.
We on 848.
848.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, abandoning a 10-foot wide alley located between property described as Lot 1, Block 1, Griffiths Addition, known as 3625 Castle Avenue, and property described as Lot D11, Block F, Jen Lanieri Tract, known as 3609 Herwell Avenue. Said alley described as being 0.03 acres of land in the City of Waco, McLennan County, Texas, being a portion of a 10-foot wide alley in the Castle Heights Addition to the City of Waco, McLennan County, Texas, as per plat of said addition recorded in volume 898, page 34 of the deed records of McLennan County, Texas. Finding no duty to maintain, authorizing the city manager to execute quitclaim deeds, providing a severability clause, and finding and determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by a 6-0 council vote on first reading on September 19, 2023.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval on second reading?
Second.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Rodriguez? Holmes? Borderood?
Yes.
Meek?
Yes, that motion carries. We'll move to ordinance 2023-849.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, amending Section 28-1 definitions and Section 28-624 special uses of Chapter 28 zoning of the Code of Ordinances for the purposes of adding a definition for full-service automobile dealership and allowing full-service automobile dealership as a special permitted use in the C2 Community Commercial District. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinance in conflict herewith, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for penalties, providing a savings clause, providing a severability clause, and finding and determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by a 6-0 council vote on first reading on September 19, 2023.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval on second reading?
Second.
Please poll the council.
Rodriguez?
Aye.
Holmes? Borderood?
Yes.
Meek?
Motion carries. We'll move to ordinance 2023-850.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, providing the Code of Ordinances be amended by revising Section 28-247 and Chapter 28 zoning of said code. Provide the zoning map shall be changed that certain properties described as lots 1A, 2, 3, and A4, Block 17 Beal Nelson, lots B5, B6, and C5, right-of-way Clifton to Elm, Block 17 Beal Nelson, known as 1203, 1209, 1217, and 1233 Elm Avenue, shall be changed from C3 district classification and become and be designated to O3 district classification, providing for penalties, providing a savings clause, providing a severability clause, and finding and determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by a 6-0 council vote on first reading on September 19, 2023.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval on second reading?
Second.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Rodriguez?
Aye.
Holmes? Borderood?
Yes.
Meek?
Yes, that motion carries. The next item on the agenda is ordinance 2023-851.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, providing the Code of Ordinances be amended by revising Section 28-247 and Chapter 28 zoning of said code. Provide the zoning map shall be changed that certain properties described as Lot 22 and Lot 23, Block 27, Ganocchio, and I hope I'm saying that right, known as 3012 and 3023 Bosque Boulevard, shall be changed from R1B and R2 district classification and become and be designated to O3 district classification, providing for penalties, providing a savings clause, providing a severability clause, and finding and determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by a 6-0 council vote on first reading on September 19, 2023.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval on second reading?
Second.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Aye.
Holmes?
Aye.
Borderood?
Yes.
Meek?
Motion carries. Are there any announcements council would like to make?
I'm going to make one quick comment, Mayor. In District 5, I'm going to be holding a series of town hall meetings over the course of the next 6 weeks. 3 different town hall meetings starting next Tuesday, October 10th. The first one's going to be at Harris Creek Baptist Church, just to talk about what's going on in the city of Waco, and we'll have a Q&A session at the end of the town hall, looking to get feedback from constituents. The second one will be on October 24th out at the Waco Regional Airport. We get everybody get a good look at the new airport out there in our China Spring district. And the third one will be November 13th at West Waco Library to cover the lakeshore parts of my District 5. Looking forward to it and looking forward to feedback from the residents.
Briefly, I just wanted to thank Jonathan Cook and his team at the Parks Department, Lisa Blackman, Assistant City Manager. I wanted to thank Millette Harrison and her team with Neighborhood Engagement, and Councilmember Holmes. We had a wonderful time dedicating the first public pickleball court in City of Waco Park, and it was just a really joyful event. My daughter got to get out there and learn a little bit about pickleball. Holmes and I had a few volleys across the net that were.
Death match.
Yeah, we had a little death match and kind of a D3, D5 match, but it was just a really great event, and we're excited about the expansion of pickleball in our park system. So thankful to the city staff for making that happen.
Really cool. Are there any requests for the scheduling of future agenda items? If not, there being no further business, we will adjourn this meeting at 6:40 PM.